Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chelsea Jones. Mourning, prayers, and shock in Sri Lanka following a series of terror attacks this Easter Sunday. Hit by at least 8 explosions, churches and hotels were targeted. More than 200 people killed and at least 450 more injured. Tonight, with several people under arrest, Sri Lanka's Prime Minister reveals there was intelligence about the possible attacks. Sarah Harmon reports.
The blast shook churches during the holiest day on the Christian calendar. The explosions started just before 9 a.m. Packed Easter services shattered. When it was over, chaos and carnage. Dashcam footage captured the moment one blast ripped through St. Anthony's Shrine in the capital, Colombo. This is what the inside looks like now. The near-simultaneous blast targeting 3 churches across the country, and in the capital, 3 luxury hotels popular with tourists. Later, 2 more explosions reported in the city. Witnesses described the horror.
I could see a lot of people with glass pierced into their body, people with blood all over them. I saw a lot of chefs from Shangri-La with white apron on, which had been almost painted red, if I could say so, with all the blood of the guests or themselves, I don't know. But yeah, it was very tragic.
Among the dead, 2 U.S. citizens. President Trump tweeting condolences to Sri Lanka, writing, "We stand ready to help." The State Department condemning the terror attacks. Tonight, Sri Lankan police say they've arrested 7 suspects. The Prime Minister acknowledging there was intelligence on possible attacks and now pledging a full investigation. The government has placed the entire country under curfew overnight and blocked access to social media. As Sri Lankans who'd planned to celebrate Easter with their families now plan funerals. Sarah Harmon, NBC News.
Now on to some Arkansas news. Little Rock police are investigating an officer-involved shooting after shots rang out earlier this afternoon at an Arby's. The gunman is dead after being shot by 2 officers. Susan Elcroy has that story.
Gunshots piercing a parking lot.
They're shooting at the police.
This cell phone video shows 2 Little Rock officers in what LRPD calls a shootout with an armed man.
We saw the police racing through, and then we heard just repetitions of gunfire. Boom, 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 boom. And we took cover.
Lisa Walker-Wheeler watching police fill the Arby's parking lot at Shackleford Crossings. Her family was leaving Easter brunch when she says bullets started flying.
We were just all getting together to try to enjoy family time. I never imagined, my son would have to grab me, and try to protect me.
Little Rock police responding to calls of a suspicious person. 2 officers say they found an armed man. Now investigators are trying to determine how that escalated to a shooting.
At some point, there was a gunfire exchange. The subject fired at the officers. At some point, our officers fired back, striking the suspect.
Police spent much of the day dispelling rumors spreading on social media.
Unfortunately, there was a white male that was shot by 2 of our officers. Both of those officers are white males.
Paramedics tried to save the man, but he died at the hospital.
Oh my God! Oh my God.
A scene this mom will never forget.
Just praying for peace here in Little Rock.
Police aren't releasing the name of the victim at this time, but they say they have plans to release the names and pictures of both officers involved within the next 48 hours. And Louisiana State Police are investigating a crash that killed 2 people early this morning. Just after midnight, police responded to a single vehicle crash on Highway 821 east of Highway 33. The initial investigation showed that a Chevy Tahoe driven by Christopher Brady of Shudrint hit a deer. After hitting that deer, the truck ran off the road and hit several trees. Savannah Holden was the passenger. She and Brady were taken to the hospital where they later were pronounced dead. The crash remains under investigation. Now, thousands of people across the Arklamas and across the world took time this Sunday morning to go to church. Family and friends joined together to commemorate the sacred Christian holiday, a holiday that means so much to so many. Some residents calling the holiday one of encouragement.
Easter means a time to come together and to show love to our community and to honestly just be kind of more inviting than usual. It's like an inspiration to us to give us a little boost.
Taylor says Easter is a day that represents freedom of chains, which is symbolic of Jesus rising from the cross. And with crawfish season still going strong, you may be wondering what to expect for prices after today, Easter Sunday. Well, the season is at its peak and crawfish have been in high demand. Prices for the beloved bells of the boil sat around $6 this year. And usually there's a spike in prices right before Easter, but after today, that is expected to change. One local crawfish store owner says people can expect to see a drop in mudbug prices in our area as early as tomorrow or Tuesday. Now on to a consumer alert now. Although crawfish prices are expected to drop, prices at the pump are higher. Drivers shouldn't expect them to fall anytime soon either. According to the Lundberg survey, the average price for a gallon of gas went up almost 13 cents this past week. Prices are up more than 60 cents since January, and there are several reasons why. The price of crude oil has increased, and production is down due to many refineries going through both planned and unplanned repairs. There's also a shortage of ethanol from Midwest flooding, and we're now transitioning to costlier summer blend gasoline. Now, as refinery repairs are finishing up, and as the U.S. imports ethanol from Brazil, gas prices should peak and then start to fall. And to stay on top of every news story in the Arklamis, make sure you download the NBC 10 News app. Just search KTVE in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Coming up on NBC 10 News at 10, destroyed by storms but rebuilt with a lot of love. How one Arkansas church is rejoicing on this Easter holiday. And it was pretty, excellent Easter holiday, wasn't it, for weather, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, it was just